Hey gang, East Coast Lumberjack here, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please hit the subscribe button. I'm gonna have a little bit of a quick one today, but I've been running around chopping wood like crazy, so I haven't been in the shop a lot. So I backed up on a few orders. I got about a dozen orders here now ahead of me, so I gotta get going on them. So I got some pretty neat projects here, and I want to open this one here with you here. So this is a package we just get in. It came from California. Okay, so it came from what's the name of the city? El Centro. So El Centro, California. This is from my buddy Dave Byram. So he sent a couple of heads. I haven't looked at these yet. I haven't opened them up. So I'm just going to do that while you guys are here, so we can take a look at them, see what kind of accents we have here. So I'm expecting they'll be pretty interesting. Let's see if I can get that light. There we go. That looks a little bit better. So word to the wise. He sent it UPS. Man, what a pile of trouble getting that stuff across the border. And the problem with Canada Customs, and if there's a Canada Customs officer watching, here's a good point for you. You guys don't have a flipping clue where to stick your axes. And I've had axes come in, and they get slotted as garden tools, they get slotted as hand tools, they get slotted as whatever. And the duty that we pay on them is all over the map, because they don't know where to stick them. So anyhow, oh wow. So look at the size of this sucker. So these are Elwells. Okay, they take a huge eye. Wow, look at that. Now I have had measuring tape right here. Right there. It's under the box. I've had people before order axe heads, or axe handles, and want a 4-inch eye. And when I start making them, I say, check your eye measurements. Actually, I just had another handle that was ordered. They wanted an 1 3/8 eye, and it was on a 28-inch handle. Usually inch and 3/8, under 1.5 inch eye is usually a hatchet, because the eye is really small. So I asked him to check the measurements. He went back and checked, and he said, hey, sorry man, you're right, it's 2 3/8, which makes sense for a 28-inch handle. Now, these handles here, you wanted 34 inches, so I know, it's a rugged handle, or a rugged axe, fairly big axe. So this Elwell is a pretty neat pattern. So it's got quite the drop here in the eye, and you can see right on it, it says Elwell, nice and clearly. But look at the eye in this baby. Okay, let's put the tape on it here. Okay, so almost a full 4 inches for that eye. Okay, massive eye. So the problem's going to be shipping these puppies back. So that's one. The other one underneath here looks almost identical. So I think what I will do, it's just got a number here. It's got a number on this side, but you can't see the inscription there. Oh, there it is, right on the front of it. Elwell. W-E-D-N-E-S, Winsbury, and it says cast steel, guaranteed 6, all on this face of this axe. So now what I do see, as you can see right here, how it's curled. So unfortunately somebody not knowing what they own have beaten on this if it's in a log, and of course they've curled the ends. Now what I will do, I probably will not hang these. I will get the axe heads ready, I'll fit them, make them ready to roll, but then I'm going to send the handles off the heads because it's easier to pack, number one. But number two, I think he will want to clean these heads up a bit before he hangs them. So if the handle's in, it's a lot harder to clean the axe heads up. So I will clean these up, or sorry, I will do the handles, make them fit, and then send them to him so that he can actually do the last hang himself after he's cleaned these up, because I'm assuming he's going to want to do that. So those are the two heads I just came from California. They are nice Elwells. So that's that's a project for next week, making those handles for those axes. So that's one. That's a California order. Now, I also have a few other things I want to show you. And I'll show you these ones. These came, this is how they come, okay, just so you know. So this came from New Zealand. And what happened, a buddy of mine ordered these. He's actually my daughter's fling right now, her main squeeze. And his name's Matt. And he ordered these axes from Tuatahi, 3 of them, had them sent to Fave Sefo. Now, Fave Sefo used to work for Tuatahi. Now he's on his own as an axe grinder, and he's ground these axes out for him. So there's your 5-pound razor blade. This is called it's an 84. Okay, so it's banana ground. Remember we just talked about the different grinds? You can see the banana grind on the end of this and how the cheeks are really taking out these wings here on the top and the bottom. So that's ground by Fave Sefo. He's one of the best axe grinders in the world. But anyways, that's another project. I have 3 of those that all need handles. My son, who actually hurt his back and took this year off, he's going to swing his axe again at the Keswick Lumberjack show on September the 9th. It's in a couple of weeks. So I got to make 3 handles for him and get those in so he can swing his axes there, because he'll, after being out of it for all summer, I know he's chomping at the bit and he wants some good axes and good handles so he can smash the snot out of a block of wood. So I will get those ready for him. But now I had another unique order, and this one's really unique because this baby here is headed to England. So I had a neighbor down the road, Michael Baker from the UK. He came in to see me here, actually on my birthday. He actually got a piece of cherry cheesecake for my birthday, because on my birthday, I love cherry cheesecake, and I always get one made for myself. So he was here at the right place at the right time and got a piece of cherry cheesecake. But he also ordered an axe. Now, what he wanted, it's kind of neat, because he's got this really good friend. He's been a lifelong friend of his in England. And he said, I want a Canadian axe. So I said, okay, Canadian axe, right on. So I got thinking, I know a guy out in Hoyt, Ron Johnson, he makes axes. So I thought I could get one from him. But I also have another buddy, Bill Hooper. And Bill Hooper is an axe saw collector. And he has got a few of them kicking around. So anyways, I asked Bill, I said, hey Bill, do you have something that's made in Canada? So I told him what we had to spend. So Bill found me an axe, and this is what we have. So this is a Campbell's axe. You can see here, it says right on it, Campbell's axe, St. John, New Brunswick. So that's where it was made, St. John, New Brunswick. So that's about an hour and a half from where I live here in Keswick Ridge. So Bill cleaned it all up. Looks really nice. It's a beautiful looking axe. And then we took the old handle out, and the East Coast Lumberjack put an East Coast Lumberjack handle in. This here is a Hetherington. So it's the guy that taught me how to make handles. This is his pattern. It's basically what we'd call a pole axe handle, or a boy's axe handle. It's got a really nice palm, fawn's foot on the bottom of it here, palm swell. So I did that with, and you can see it's a nice dark stain. Well, it's actually not stained. This is heartwood. So this is hickory heartwood. I had a few pieces of that left over. So I grabbed one of them because I know when you put the boiled linseed oil on it, it comes out really beautiful, really nice dark wood. So there's your typical grain pattern on an East Coast Lumberjack handle, straight up and down. You can look right down the eye here. You can see that the bit is lined up right in line with the handle really nicely. So this was a nice hang, a really simple hang. Lots of eye in Campbell's. You gotta love an axe that puts a lot of eye so that you have a lot of wood holding your axe head on. These outfits that have these big axes and little tiny eyes, I don't know, the driveway didn't seem to go quite the whole way to the door on those, because there's not a lot of wood holding your axe head on. And I find that mostly in malls. So that's another little project, and I just completed that. So here's the wedge. It was a white ash wedge in that dark hardwood. So it came out really nice as well. So I'm just about ready to head down the road. I'm going to take this axe down to Mike and let him have it. So he can, the other thing he's going to do, so he's got an axe head from Canada, from actually St. John, New Brunswick. He's got a handle from Keswick Ridge, New Brunswick, just down the road from him, and he's going to go around the corner here to Key Log Saddle and get a nice leather sheath made for the axe. So it's all coming right here in New Brunswick. And of course, that's going to go over with him in September to England. He's going to give that as a birthday present to his buddy. So glad to have a hand in that one. So the next project on the East Coast Lumberjacks docket is these. I've got a couple of them made here for my second son, Nate. He needs some good axe handles put back in his chopping axes, so I've got a few of these made up. We'll shape them up and hang them in the next couple of days. Supposed to be a little bit of rain over the next few days, so that'll give me a chance to get back at the bench here and clean up some of these orders. So there's quite a few of them coming in. That's another thing you may want to see. Now I talked about a sheath for our racing axes. This is what we get. Now actually I'll grab one here that has the name on it. So this put a shameless plug in for my buddies down at Tuatahi Axes and Saws in Masterton, New Zealand. They're online. Just Google Tuatahi Axes if you want to see these beautiful racing axes. But they also make a few other things. Like they have stones. They have really nice stones that they sell. They also have these axe sheaths. So they're leather on both sides, and then there's felt in the middle, and felt that's sewn right in here to the edge. So your sharp razor blade goes into the felt, and that keeps it from getting dull. And of course the Velcro strap goes around the handle, and of course goes on with Velcro, so works pretty slick. So a bunch of those came with the other axes as well for Matt. And I finished up another one. Actually I took this handle out of it. You just missed it. Actually it's out in the shop. But it was also a Campbell's axe. It was a Campbell's that had a pole on the back of it. This handle here came from my buddy Gary Moore. So I worked with Gary for years. He's a wildlife biologist at Natural Resources here in New Brunswick. Had an ash handle in it, and of course it's a Sunny Bray from Nova Scotia. You know Sunny Bray handles because they always have the blue paint on the bottom of the handle. It finally gave up the ghost. He splits a lot of yellow birch with it, so I finished it up. And actually I'll show that to you. Well, we just got a couple of these, so let's take a walk out to the shop. So this handle here busted, so I'm throwing that in the burn pile. But let's take a walk out to the shop and I'll show you it, because it came out really nice as well. People thinking I'm in the dark. Might be a little bit of truth to that right now. So it's a beautiful day here in New Brunswick on Thursday, but of course she's supposed to cloud over tomorrow and then get a whole bunch of rain on Saturday. So here's another project we got on the go. A couple axe throw targets for the Keswick, actually Canadian Lumberjack Championships that are coming up. So just in the process of putting a couple of those together. All kinds of stuff actually going on around that. Of course, here's all the stuff we have for competitors and setup, awards. So lots going on there. We're going to come into the East Coast Lumberjack shop where the rock and roll plays a little bit loud. So we'll just turn that down. But I want to show you Gary's axe. So I'll set you down here so I can show it to you. So Gary's axe, here it is here. You can see it's a Campbell's, and it's got this hammer on the back of it, and it's great. Of course, it's a really handy tool because you can drive nails and spikes and stuff with it, but it's also really neat because it adds weight. Okay, that's not going to work for you. Sorry guys, moving this around here a little bit, but it adds weight to the axe. Okay, so when you're driving, when you're splitting wood and stuff, of course you've got that extra pound and a half, whatever that is up there, in the pushing the axe blade through the wood. So I put an edge on it for him, a nice edge, a really sharp edge, and then I hung this with the same length handle that his other axe had, which is almost a 36 inch. So it's a hickory. He wanted hickory as well. Hickory's, like I say, is tough as nails. So this one here is a nice hickory handle, hung nice and straight. There's my grain again. So this is a nice long-handled axe, and it's all ready to go for Gary. So that was the other project this week. So we will come back. I know I promised you to show you how to test axes, and I've got there's 3 or 4 right here in the bench, and of course my axe box. So what happened? What happened at Nationals? And at a good standing block shop, I was right in the thick of it. Everybody, most of the guys, I mean, other than my kid and Sterling and Marcel that were down around the low 20s, almost everybody else was in the high 20s in standing block shop. And of course, that's right where I was, 29 seconds and change. So I was in the thick of it. For a 58-year-old fart, I was in the thick of it with that. Thank goodness. My other hand, though, I went with that same stupid axe I got, and actually I'm selling it. It will not chop pine. It's a really nice axe in other wood, but I need an axe for pine. So what'll happen a lot of times with competitors, and what's going to happen with me with this one, and actually, hey, what the heck? I might as well sell that thing. Hang with me. Okay, right there. So what I was saying. Okay, so what I was saying. Now, some competitors got deep pockets, or they're really good at the sport, so they make a lot of money. Now, typically in my career, I've been at this 37 years now, a long time, and thankfully I've never lost money. So most shows I go to, I at least cover my expenses. Sometimes you get a little bit more pocket change, but some of the big shows you go to, like I went to a big show in Powell River a few years ago. It cost me $1,500 for a plane ticket. I made almost $1,800, so I wound up. Of course, after my meals and everything, of course, we broke even, but I didn't go behind. So, and that's pretty good. $1,800 payout at the show is a pretty good payout, especially for a guy in his 50s. So we don't make quite the money we used to now that we're getting older, because of course we're slowing down. But all that to say, what you'll do now, I've got axes that chop East Coast pine really good. Okay, I've got a nice big 3/4 inch chisel, chops it nice. I've also got a 1/2 inch chisel, and it chops it good as well. So I have 2 chisels for pine. This one here chops poplar really good. I also have a banana for poplar, and it chops it really nice. And I have a super grind, which also chops poplar nice. So I only have 5 axes, but I have axes that I need for the woods that we typically chop. What I don't have is an axe for the West Coast pine. And I gotta get one. So, because now this axe chops popple really nice. So it is a nice popple axe. Now it's got a full bit. It's 7 3/4 inch across the bit. Okay, it's brand new, as you can see. Okay, it's still shining. I've used it for, I probably used it in 5 chops. 2 of them were at the Steel Finals this year where I looked terrible. Okay, not the axe, it's just that the axe won't chop that corky West Coast wood. So, I get bent out of shape because, I'm not chopping it well. I probably should have gone with, at least that chisel would have probably cleared the chips a little bit better. But I need a better axe, so I'm going to get an axe that chop, and I actually have got it on order right now from Tuatahi. It's on its way here. So I've got an axe coming, okay? $800 axe. So I need to pay for the thing. So I'm going to sell this one, okay? It's brand new. It's a Kingi axe from Tuatahi. It's got a 29.5 inch handle in it. But it's brand new. It chops poplar really well. But of course, I already have 2 other poplar axes. So I'm going to sell this thing for $700. Okay, so if you're interested and you want a nice axe, and I'll take the handle of this for you, and send the handle, along with it if you want, or if you just want the axe head, I'll just pop it in and send you the axe head. You can put whatever you want in it for a handle. But this baby's going, because there's only 6 slots in my axe box. One's for a throwing axe. That means my other 4 axes fill up. That's 5 holes. There's only 1 hole left, and I need something to chop, because I'm not going to get embarrassed next year at the Canadian Finals if I happen to make it. I need something else that'll chop that West Coast pine. And of course, there's a couple shows we like to go to. I like to get out to the Squamish with the boys. But either I'll be chopping alder or I'll be chopping that corky pine, and I need something that will chop that. So this guy's got to go, and I need to get an axe that will chop it, which I plan on getting ground here before long. So As we wrap up, you're interested in this Kingi axe, email me, eastcoastlumberjack@gmail.com, or go to my website, East Coast Lumberjack. What's it, eastcoastlumberjack.com, I think my website is. But put it in there, okay? First come, first serve. So if you're the first one there, $700, you can have this thing. I did pay $8 something for it, but I've used it 5 or 6 times. So it's just, I don't know, I just don't feel right selling a, you know, basically it's a used axe, even though it's brand spanking new. But I did use it a couple times, so I'll take $100 off for that. Okay, probably cost you about $40-50 to get it shipped to you. So if you're interested, let me know. Otherwise, come back. I'm going to take my axe box probably next week. I've got we'll do this here as well. I got a good buddy of mine coming from Belgium, Cohen Martens. He's the 7-time national Belgian champion for steel timber sports in Belgium. He's coming to hang out for a week, and he's going to a few of the shows that we have here, especially our one in Keswick. So I'm going to do a video with him, and we'll do some axe testing. So we'll take our axes out just so he can see what they're like, and we'll actually test them, and I'll explain to you how that axe testing works. So if you want to test your axes and see what to look for, we'll run through that for you. Anyways, East Coast Lumberjack signing off. See you next.